think we should start with the topic you want to speak about.
Oh,
These gonna be a little bit shorter podcast because we want to get out more content, and we want to kind of usually on our podcast we kind of go all over the place. Fucking A,
all right.
Brian.
So you want to start with red pill?
Yeah, because I don't know what the fuck that is.
Damn, I didn't know you.
Wait, let me explain what I thought red pilling was, and maybe I'm wrong because
no, you're actually not wrong.
I'm not like super social media guy. Like I don't really pay attention to a lot of stuff, so I can give you context, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't know what Pog was.
I don't know what Pog was either.
Apparently, his butt.
I thought Pog was a dog.
No, like Pog, like PAWG.
Okay.
Apparently, that's like butt stuff on porn. Right? Now, I didn't know this.
Okay.
Right? And my brother was making jokes. He's like, oh, Pog. And I'm like the dog? Just like you did.
Yeah.
And he was like, Sam. And I'm like, Josh. He was like, you don't know what Pog is, dude? And I was like, no, Josh, I don't know what Pog is. He's like, dude, there's no fucking way you don't know what Pog is. I'm like, Josh, can you just explain it to me? And he was like, butt, dude, it's butt.
He talks like that?
But yeah,
because dude,
he looks like a surfer. He's like your skin complexion, long hair.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, butt stuff, dude, butt. So I'm like, all right. Now, me being the scientist that I am, I had to go do research.
Okay.
And it's changed my life. Because now I know what Pog is. Research. At your own discretion.
Yeah, take that back. Take that back, because there's one person gonna be watching.
Listen, man.
What do you mean you did research, Sam? What does he mean that he did research? Because research implies
I applied the scientific method.
Okay. On Google? You typed it on Google?
So explain to me what red pilling is, right? So I was under the impression that red pilling is when you somehow show a person, or you enlighten a person into the ideals of being a Republican, because potentially they might have not known really what a Republican was in the first place, and you red pill them, kind of like Neo in the Matrix. Okay. You either choose to take the blue pill and live a lie, or you take the red pill and you decide to live in reality, and with that reality. With living within that reality, you can actually change the world and do things or whatever like that. That's what I thought red pilling was for the longest time.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
No.
So I'm not that old yet.
No. You just apply the same concept. Just apply it to dating.
Okay.
So for example, I have to bring an example. So let's. There's guys that are blue pill. They're just simps. They're the guys that would do anything for a woman.
And that's called the blue pill.
They will do anything for a woman, while the woman is basically fucking the guy that's an asshole. Right.
Okay.
So a red pill will be like saying, red pill will be like, listen, girls expect you to provide for them. Mm-hmm. There's the blue pill where girls want to be treated equally, the whole 50-50 thing. They want to pay 50-50. But in reality, girls want a man that caters for them. Girls want a man that is able to provide security, financial security, yada, yada, yada. It's just basically the reality of the way how girls actually are.
Yeah.
Or how men and women interact with each other.
Sure.
Because although in society we're moving forward, we're still operating a really, really, more like old school. Like we want the man normal. Like we want them. If girls want a man that is confident, is able to lead, is able to take initiative. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then man wants a woman that is feminine and caters to them. Is able to take it. Yeah, yada yada yada.
Okay.
Right. So when girls act like, oh, I'm a bad bitch, I make my own money, and let's just say guys are intimidated because I make my own money, yada yada yada. Red pill will be like, no, guys are not intimidated because you make your own money. It's one. Guys usually do not care about your money, how much you make. And two, you have an OnlyFans account. So although you're making $1 million, no man wants their woman to be out there.
Exposed
like that. So
you're right. At least no man that truly respects you.
So, but a man that will allow a woman to have an OnlyFans will be considered a simp. So blue pill. So you have the concept. It's just you just add it to relationships.
I understand what you're saying. I know you had a couple questions. too, as well, with the whole situation.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Okay, but before you even ask the question, you know what I've noticed? Because we talked about what's his name, Samuel something.
Kevin Samuels, the GOAT.
Kevin Samuels, yeah, the GOAT.
The Godfather himself. Respect.
Right. So
say his name.
What's interesting is that a high value man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I brought him up, because that seems like to be his concept of, or the way he verbalizes.
By the way, it's not his concept, the way he describes it. But you can go on and I'll tell you why.
The way he describes it, I'm getting it from there.
Okay.
That's the way I understand how he speaks. A high value man, which would be basically the equivalent of just someone that's successful or has things going on that's important.
The top 10% of men, yeah.
Yes, within society. I feel like a lot of those men are put in that position because of other men. I don't think it's a
Yeah.
I don't think it's women that actually decide what a high value man is.
Oh, yeah,
I think
right.
men decide what a high value man is.
Yes.
Yes, and it's interesting. Hold on a second. It's interesting with women. Women don't decide what's a high value woman. Men also decide what's a high value woman. So I always thought that's pretty interesting, because when you think about it, well, name someone that you would suggest as a high value man that people would recognize. Don't name me Sebum.
Sebum is a high value fucking god.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking Greek Olympian.
It will be someone like Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, you could say Elon Musk. Basically, the way I'm gonna just say what Kevin Samuels describes as a high value man is a man that is making at least $10,000 a month, but he says that is the most definable one, but it's not the reason you become a high value man.
It's like $120,000 a year.
Yeah. So he uses the way to become a high value man is being recognized by other men, like you said, they are high value.
Yeah.
So if you're making $5,000 a month, it's fine. But like if I'm being recognized by LeBron James, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and they give me credit, yada yada, that boosts my value.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be considered a high value man, not because of my money, but like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. So to your point, that's what it is.
So, and I also find it interesting that, for example, the fact that people are trying to which is also strange, because there is no equal when it comes to genders or sexes or whatever terminology you want to use to describe that situation. Because what do you mean by equal? You mean do you everything is 50-50?
Mm-hmm.
And what does that even mean to be 50-50? If I hate to fucking do the dishes, and you love doing the dishes, should we still do the dishes half the amount of time? Should I do it half and you do it half? What does that mean, equally? Or for example, if I get paid a certain amount of money, let's say I make $100,000 a year, and my wife makes $50,000 a year, should I give her $25,000 a year just so we can have an equal amount of income coming into what else is going on? So it's very interesting, because people bring up the gender wage gap, but that's been debunked so many times. A billion times. I don't even feel like I need to speak on it.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's something I'm interested in seeing. What does equality mean? Because I see what women seem to, or in my view, are pushing towards the forefront of feminism. Something like Cardi B, because she exposes herself a lot, and they think this is women empowerment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to myself, I can't help but think, no, you're just doing what men always wanted females to do since the beginning. There are select controlling type men that don't allow their women to do anything, right? But there are also cultures that made certain rules within their cultures, because guess what? Rape was a big issue back in the day. And I'm not talking about back in the day 100 years ago. I'm talking about back in the day, let's talk about women's right to vote, and then the rest of history is there was a big raping thing culture just in general.
Yeah.
Right? Because let's just think about this. If someone has the power to do something, nothing exists to tell that person not to do what they want to do.
Okay.
Unless you create rules around a society or that person per se. For example, a president is a king, except he's not because you added certain bodies of power to exist, so he don't have king-like abilities or power, right? Now, I'm not conflating men to being kings or president. What I'm trying to suggest is that if you were to go in the wild, a lion just jumps on any lioness that he so pleases, because that lion can overpower any lioness he comes across. So certain cultures, like Muslim cultures, they cover their women. They enacted certain things to protect their women. Are there sides of that shit that seem to be extremely negative, like how the women are treated? Of course, I'm not arguing that, but I can see why. Also, Jewish cultures, why they have their women cover up.
Yeah.
Why, with a lot of Christian, more Protestant Christians or more classical Christians, why their women dress a certain type of way, because they understand that men, they don't have they don't follow certain societal structures, can be a fucking wild card, and we can't pretend like fucking human trafficking doesn't exist. You know, should we live in a world where no one gets raped? Sure, we can all agree that no one wants to live in a world where raping exists.
Of course.
But it exists.
Yes, and there's precautions to be taken.
Yeah, and people have taken precautions for hundreds, thousands of years.
Okay, so everything that you just said, I think so. Everything. I'm just writing down some of the points because my mind will go somewhere else, and then we just get off topic.
Yeah.
Everything you just said is basically red pill.
Is it?
Red pill.
Wow.
Because you're dealing with reality. Reality meaning we will hate it if we wish rape was gone.
Yes.
But we live in a reality where if I have a daughter, I don't want my daughter to go out to the supermarket to get eggs at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yes.
I just don't want that.
Yes.
It makes logical sense. So another point would be, for example, like there's a lot of sexist things that we have, gender roles you can quote them, that we have for a certain reason. For example, as a man, I am expected to protect my woman simply because I'm a man. That can be seen as sexist. That you expect that because I'm a man, I have to protect you.
But it makes sense.
But it makes sense. Another thing could be that because you're a woman, you're expected to stay home with the kids while I go work.
Okay.
It can be seen as sexist that, wow, why should I, the woman, have to stay home and cook for you and do everything for you while you go out there and provide and make sure that the bills are paid and yada, yada, yada.
And also, I want to add something to that. It's not necessarily that you have to. It's that that's what men want. And if you are not willing to do that, the man will just find someone that is. There are billions of females, and if that man requires certain things or likes certain things to be done, that's what he's gonna go for. Just like a woman, if women like or prefer certain things to be done for them, and their man is not providing those certain things for them, they're welcomed and are free to leave that male or man at that point in time. You can continue.
And to your point, this is a perfect transition.
Yeah.
One of the things that women have problems is with the choice round. For example, Cardi B is teaching women that being sexual, liberating, that's good. But just like you said, we men, although we want to see it, that's not what we want in our woman.
Yes.
So we, sadly, like it or not, girls, it's a red pill, talking point. We men do not respect girls that just show their bodies and go around. We men have put less value on women.
Treat them like hoes.
Yeah, treat them like hoes. For example, and this is kind of where the topic goes, what I was gonna bring, is that I was talking to this girl, and she was telling me like, yeah, guys seem not to take. Guys, this generation don't want relationships. And I said, why do you? I was like, okay.
I'm sorry. Go continue. Go.
Why do you think that? Because I thought the same thing. That's not true. Why do you think that? And it's like, well, I just meet guys, and we never get to the point of wanting a relationship. And I said, okay, walk me through. If you and me were talking in talking stages, how would you do it? And she said, well, we're gonna go out for 3 days first, so that we can get to know each other. Then we're gonna go out in the talking stages. And I asked, any of those stages, are we exclusive? And she said, no. But I'm fucking you. She said, yes. And you're allowing me to fuck other bitches. She She said, yes, because we're not exclusive. So you're telling me I have access to sex whenever the fuck I want from you. I can fuck wherever the fuck I want. And I know that you're fucking other people. So you understand how I just don't value. I don't want to be in a relationship with just fucking around everybody.
Not even just that too. If it takes you 3 days to understand if you like someone, there's probably something going on with you as well.
It's also 3 dates. Not days, 3 dates.
Yeah.
So 3 days could be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. It's like if to me, I know if I like someone off the first date, if I like them or if I don't like them.
Yeah.
If you could just narrow down to a couple fucking questions.
Yeah.
What do you want to do in life? Are you into this, a X, Y, or Z?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're not? How come? Explain to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you are. That's cool. We have something in common.
Yeah.
Do you believe in such and such? Mm-hmm. Oh, you do. That's cool. Oh, you don't. Is there like a particular reason why you don't believe in such and such,
mm-hmm.
or whatever like that, and stuff like that? Not just stare each other's faces and
nothing. And you could even ask.
We can't just be doing that. Like you have to. And it's also if you go to a date, right? And this is another thing I have seen this difference between men and women, right? If you go on a date and you just do the bare minimum, mm-hmm. which is show up and you did your makeup, right? You showed up and you did whatever, right? And you do the same thing for every date you go on.
Yeah, it's nothing special.
It's nothing special, right? Where a man is expected to basically show up good looking, just like you.
Yep.
And then plus pay, plus be charming, plus seem like he has some type of brains inside of the system, and you have to be sexually attracted to that man as well at the same time.
Exactly.
However stimulating, however you prefer to be stimulated, be it intellectually, physically, whatever it is. There has to be something about that guy that pisses you over the top. But I feel like a lot of females don't also reach for the what makes me special kind of thing.
No, because the problem that Kevin Samuels is finding is that women are confusing their ability to get sex for their ability to get into relationships.
Because they have vagina.
They have vagina, so it's easy for them. For example, for us men, we have to go out of our way.
Well, no, it's pretty easy for us as well now.
Now, what do you mean?
Okay. So for example, right? For you, I'll use an example without using specific details. It is much easier for you to have sex now as a, how old are you? 22. As a 22-year-old than it was for you at a 19-year-old.
Of course.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's gonna get easier.
Yes.
So it's not. Yeah. So it's like what you're aiming for and the value system that you have is as you're getting older, mm-hmm. is becoming more attractive to females. 19, you know what the fuck you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it seems like the less direction you have, the less valuable you are just in general to females as a whole.
And just in general, again, this is something you're saying is red pill.
Mm-hmm.
Men, the irony is that men and women, their value is at the wrong time in a way. So a woman's value is when they're younger. They have less experiences. They have less experiences. They're younger, and men's value is when they're older.
Yeah.
So as I'm getting older, my money's coming up. When I was 19, what the fuck? Was I even working at 19? Yeah, I was working. I was making like $18,000 a year. Yeah. Now I'm making $50. Yeah. And as I get older, my resources continue to increase. I get a car, maybe I move out, yada yada yada. That increases my value.
Yeah.
And just like you said, one of the things about a high value man is that every girl wants a high value man. Yeah. So that pool for men that are high value decreases, and this is just supply and demand. There's just more women out there, and more women want them. So they get to pick, and they get to choose ridiculous stuff. Like if a high value man wants a woman where he has the ability to just step out the marriage and do whatever the fuck he does. And
it's also with females too. Is like with women, it's like the older they get, the less valuable they become.
The less valuable they become.
Because there's more baggage that comes with the age. There's more of a rush for them as well. And they're just not, and their cycle for childbearing becomes more of a risk for them.
And it's also just real quick is that become a little bit delusional because they assume that their value goes up. Yes. For example, a woman that was making This 27 is making $100,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I think 2 podcasts ago or podcasts ago, you said that women date on the line up.
Yeah.
Preferably, they will date up.
Yeah.
So if at my age I'm 22, and let's just say I'm talking to a 23-year-old, and she's making 100K, and I'm making 50, she's gonna look at me, I don't want you.
Yeah.
She could be my looks equal,
Yeah.
but she doesn't see it. She doesn't see me as her equal.
Status wise.
So that ends up fucking them up because the more money they make, the men that are making more money, they just have a pool of women, like you said. Men date down. So they can pick you, the 23-year-old.
They date along the line or down.
Or down. And they have no problem dating the girl that's the manager at Burger King. If she's
and even then, men have no problem dating above either.
I have no problem there. It's just the attitude. It's just in this.
Yeah, when like, you know, because you look at celebrities. Celebrities don't really date outside of other celebrities. Yeah. Right, and you know, there's definitely female celebrities that make more money than their counterparts.
And they have no
but as goes to show, men just have a wider pool of people that can actually date.
Yeah. And women, as they get older, their pool gets shrunken down. So.
Yeah, because it's only in one direction. Like, you have a downward direction when you're like a teenager.
Yeah.
Right? But once you become an adult, it's straight up. Why would I want to be someone that's 1 younger than me? He has none. 2 has nothing going on with his life. Mm-hmm. 3 has like 2 baby mamas. Right? Only women that have nothing going on with their lives would accept something like that.
Exactly.
Or probably maybe they are depressed.
Yeah, and their value goes down. But yeah, that's basically the red pill. I mean, you have the red pill. One of the things Kevin Samuel says is, we men know this shit.
Yeah. Instinctively.
You know. You see a woman with a kid. No.
Yeah.
You know that. You know you see a woman with a kid and a bunch of baggage.
It's crazy. I've been judged for that so many times. Like I talked with my family members and shit like that. And
men?
No, just females.
There you go.
And they you know, they were saying, or I would make a comment like, I'll never date a girl with a kid. Yeah. Oh, but you were raised by and such and such. I'm like, what has to do with me? I would never date a woman with a child. That comes with baggage I do not want to have.
With baggage?
Either another man that I have to deal with for the rest of this kid's life if I decide to be with this woman.
Especially if the woman has a daughter. So
that's even worse. And you're always gonna be like in a weird in between state because it's like
you can't discipline the child as you want.
Yeah.
And if you decide to have, 2 more kids with her, every $100 you give, $33 doesn't go to your kids. They go to somebody else's kid that you are providing for.
Yeah.
So red pill, we men know this.
Yeah.
The problem is that the
simps know.
The simps, and crazy thing is, this thing is popping on YouTube. Is just having conversations with women, and I'm realizing after all the hours of content that I'm seeing, the women are just straight up delusional. I mean,
I really wish we had more. I wish we had females on the podcast.
I would love.
I want you to bring some of your friends here.
I have one in mind, but I kind of want to. The thing is, I feel bad because, you know what? I had a similar.
I don't want to be like I'm not gonna judge her type shit. I'm just gonna ask her questions. I'll let you judge her.
Kind of judged already.
Yeah, because that's your friend. I'll ask questions, but I do wish that we had more females on the podcast. Because I feel like our views are, especially you've seen my DMs. Mm-hmm. When the fuck we post, and it's crazy. We don't even get a lot of views. Mm-hmm. My DMs are fucking crazy every time we post a video. So I do want females to be on the podcast because I would love to understand what the fuck is going on in their heads.
Bro, let me put it this way. You can go to Kevin Samuels, pick any video that has timestamps, pick any color. Basically the same color. Hell, bro, this is the crazy story. This woman, take this shit. This woman with this man for 6 years.
Okay.
She got pregnant in year 3. Mm-hmm. In year 6, she became a nurse. She had she graduated. She left the father to her son for another man because of money. Mm-hmm. And then women have the audacity, I fucked that word up. You know what the fuck I mean.
I know what you're trying to say.
To say that money's
audacity.
Whatever, man. You know what the fuck I'm saying.
Das.
I'll make an English translator.
You can say dad.
Dad.
Audacity.
There you go. I killed him, man. That's why. Anyway, females got the nerve to say it's not about money.
Yeah.
And Kevin Samuels was saying, bro, like females in this generation, modern women, are wrecking their own homes. Because did you know that 80% of women file for divorce?
Yeah, I did know that.
80% of fucking women file for divorce.
8% of divorces are filed by
And
women.
majority of those divorces is because of financial issues and strains.
Mm-hmm.
So even if hypothetically speaking, half of those divorces was because of like the worst shit, you're hitting, abusing, whatever, women are still filing for divorce more than men.
You know what's crazy? You know what's also crazy about that? The top 1% of people in the world are all married. 90% of them are all married.
Yes. Actually, there's a statistic that if the household income is 200,000 and up, marriages, what is it? Fuck, I forgot. Marriages go up. Essentially, less divorces. That's what I say. That's crazy because I think that at that point, you both know, hey, we have it good. What's the point of us going out there?
Yeah.
For what? So this just Red Pill is popping. I actually like it really much. Yeah, I enjoy the content. It's good watch. Not all of it. There's another video like sometimes Red Pill can be a little bit too toxic with us brothers, man.
Well, that's Red Pilling, and this has been Ladot, and I hope you enjoy our views and thoughts on it. I guess, and we didn't really have any views or thoughts on it. We kind of just agree with what Red Pilling is.
Yeah, and just like Kevin Samuel says, buy a dog, die alone. I don't know what to tell you. Bye.